Snowkiss was able to take down RDU. Neirea, your matchup is going to be next. But before we talk about that, let's talk about the fact that Snowkiss now is going to be waiting for whoever wins your matchup on the upper side of the bracket. How do you think she'll fare throughout the rest of the day?
I actually think RDU, I really thought RDU will win. So it's almost like I don't want to advance to the winner's bracket because my lineup is not really good against her.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing that everyone was talking about, right? And RDU kind of seemed to be the one person who was positioned really well, and ultimately Snowkiss was able to take that one. But now let's look at that matchup that you have to go through before you do get to that upper side of the bracket and potentially have to play against Snowkiss. How do you feel going into this next match?
I think it will depend if we'll be able to win with Warrior and Shaman. This is like my two key decks. Maybe also with Freeze Mage might be rough to win, but Druid should be a free win for me. So it's like, yeah, mostly Warrior and Shaman, which are key matchups for me.
All right, so definitely keep your eyes on those Warrior and Shamans. But before I let you go and get ready for that match, gotta look at this board right here. As you can see, RDU and Stan Sifka are the only two pros that did not vote for you to win this matchup. What do you think their reasoning is for that?
Because I told them, probably.
You told them not to vote for you? All right, well, you heard the key matchups from Neirea himself. Good luck, my friend. He's going to go get seated right now to play against Fuoliver. And now we're going to throw it up to the casters and get that match started up.
All right, welcome back. This is day 2 of the StarLadder LAN Finals. I am Firebat. Joining me is Tice.
Yes, awesome. Casting another day, casting some more great matches, and casting a great control matchup now. So.
Great control matchup.
Yeah, you know I love some control here and there, right? It's not a
you
secret.
love the 3-hour-long slugfest.
The longer it can be, the more we can see.
The more we can see. That's true.
Wow.
We get way more Hearthstone. That was a good rhyme there.
Yeah,
I had that going.
Yeah.
You planned that?
No.
Write that down before the game begins.
No,
get the whole.
No.
I didn't think we were doing this scripted, Tice. I don't have rhymes ready. I can't rap with you.
No, well, I also don't want to continue anymore. I think that one we should stop there.
I can drop a beat if you need it, and then you can.
Oh, okay, really,
yeah,
really.
Yeah, just
maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow.
Tomorrow you write a rap.
When your hair is getting dyed.
Yeah. Also, if you look on Twitter, you're following the event, you can vote for what color hair you want me to dye, and drop Tice some rap lyrics. No. We can get that
yeah,
going.
Well, maybe. Sounds good.
It's a little haha sort of stuff going on.
Cannot be enough, right?
It cannot be enough. Cannot be enough. So, all right. Anyway, focusing on the match we have in front of us, Neirea versus Fuoliver. Who do you think's going to win, and why?
I have been looking a little bit at the lineups, talked a little bit with Neirea, but it looks a really heavy control lineup. A really similar lineups. There is only one different class in between the both, and that is the Rogue for Neirea. What is getting banned, what he really expected.
You're right.
So, and the Paladin, what is a really heavy control Paladin, and it's going to be tough for Neirea to do much against that. It's going to be super close. I think Fuoliver has a little better text, maybe. He has really a little bit more greedier techs, but also some really different techs more against like Murloc Paladin, a Hungry Crab here and there.
And there's no Murloc Paladin for Neirea, so those techs won't really line up.
There are some really great techs. I will say his Warrior is really greatly teched. Neirea teched a little bit more for aggro, put it out, Dirty Reds, what is going to hurt him in mirrors. So it's going to be super close. Yeah, I think Neirea is slightly unfavored here.
Slightly unfavored because of the tech choices. Going into this matchup, though, I'd say Neirea is super favored. He has Jade Druid up against the Jade Echo Shaman.
It's a little bit surprising that maybe Jade Druid didn't get banned, but there were two really great decks for Neirea. Jade Druid and the Rogue.
And the Quest Rogue, yeah.
They were both really, really strong, so yeah. Might just go with it directly. Definitely also really favored against Shaman. Even the Shaman can sometimes have a pretty decent shot, I would say. It's not as one-sided as, I would say, a control Paladin
Sure. Just because the Shaman can get on board early and tempo them.
Yes, and what is really important in Jade mirrors, like if your first Jades are covering your opponent's Jades, you can really sometimes snowball ahead. And, well, it's a Jade mirror here at the end.
Yeah, so just having one higher value in Jades, and then suddenly your opponent's playing a 2-2, you're playing a 3-3, you get the value trade, and then keep snowballing from there. But off to a quick start for Neirea. He has the ability to just drop the Jade Idol this turn if he wants, or even innervate Jade Spirit into Jade Idol plus Wrath the following turn if he wants to go full tempo with it.
He's maybe thinking of like innervating the Aya is really strong to do it early.
But the weird part about that is, though, then he's not
Yeah.
playing Jade Spirit on 4, so they kind of conflicting with one another.
It's hard to say. Going Jade Idol here, never really wrong. Can still really turn out how to see what he wants to do in the next turns.
I imagine Oliver does a similar play, just plays the Jade Claws, cleans up the 1/1, creates one of his own.
Yeah, and also like perfect turn to overload normally. Turn 2, you're still curving yourself into a totem at yourself in turn 3, and where you can still develop the 4 drops afterwards. So normally overloading here is the best. Late game, the 1 overload, not playing that Aya, not playing the Chieftain is way more powerful than missing that 1 mana here.
So Oliver's game plan, he's just trying to get as much tempo as he possibly can and kind of kill the Druid before the Druid gets to the ultimate late game of the infinite Jades. And Neirea's just trying to get to the late game of the infinite Jades.
And that's what it ended is. Like definitely Jade Druid has maybe more abilities and faster draw and just so unlimited Jades. But it's a Jade Mirror, so definitely some good shares here also for the Shaman.
And this is a big decision here for Neirea. He chooses to hold on to the Wrath. He wants to save that to be able to use it for 3 damage against things like a Manatide Totem hidden behind taunts or a Flame Tongue Totem hidden behind taunts. Gives him the ability to kill that flexibly, which is really important because those are the main tools that Shaman uses to kind of abuse Druid.
Alright, interesting. Directly coining out the defender here. Well, Earth Elemental might be a little bit painful where the overload is, but there's one big weakness of Druid, and that's hard removal.
Right. No mulch anymore.
No mulch. And yeah, if Naturalize is your best way normally in your class already, then it's already, you know, there are not many great tools that you can run.
Yeah, so the Earth Elemental, very solid pickup for Oliver.
Yeah, and now Neirea drawing the Auctioneer might be thinking already here to maybe keep on with this Innervate, can be helpful at turn 6. But it's a little slow though, like, I won't mind a Temple Plate either.
Yeah, so he had the choice between either the Innervate Aya or going with the Jade Spirit. Innervate Aya, it does kind of force your opponent to hex
I
off curve,
I won't mind Innervating Aya there.
But he sees that gadget and he wants to save it. Ultimately, at the end of the day, his game plan is to go infinite. And to go infinite, you do need to draw your entire deck. So building that gadget turn is very important.
And one game plan for the Druid is really tricky, is getting enough card draw. It's sometimes a problem. Neirea even teched for that. He's having an Acolyte of Pain in his version, where he cut a Feral Rage for it.
Okay.
So it's a little bit slight tech. Yeah, it's a little greedier. And for these kind of matchups, I would say.
It's ideal, yeah, for sure. So it'll be able to help him get infinite even faster.
Jade Blossom, great to always open with a Jade Blossom. It's all also fine in a late game, but just ramping up a little bit here, it's just so perfect. Definitely what Neirea was looking for this turn.
Here comes that Earth Elemental, I imagine. It's so sick. And you have the Hot Spring Guardian to follow up behind it to try and heal it. Other options include trying to tempo out your Jades a little bit harder, utilizing Jade Lightning on this turn.
Yeah, I think from below still not really there yet. No totem played at all.
So how does he need it? He needs to do the trades here to kind of protect it against dying on board, because you want it to stick around so you can heal it the next turn.
You can also make great value trades here in a 2-3. It's gonna play a little bit in swipe, so he has to make the decision from yes, that's what you want to do.
Yeah, I'd like to see him just trade the 2-2 in, trade the 2-2, trade the 1-3 in. You protect it a little bit against swipe. You try to make it so Neirea doesn't want to clear this Earth Elemental or make it as painful as possible to try and get that value out of Hot Spring Guardian, healing it up on the following turn.
Can actually be a really snowball plan with so many heal in the hand, double Genu, and like if that can connect the turn afterwards even. So I wouldn't mind here making just some really big trade actually.
He's taking the big trade instead of the value trade to try and set up for this Hot Spring Guardian. He wants to just ride this Earth Elemental to victory, heal it every turn of the game.
Oh wow, for Neirea, another Innovate draw. That Auctioneer only becomes better and better this way.
But he has to use all of his spells if he wants to clear off this Earth Elemental to prevent that healing effects from going down.
It might be a little bit better on turn 8, because you have like a little bit more flexibility in the Innervates, fits out the curve better, and yeah, well, Aya, it's always gonna be 6 mana, and it's better to just maybe slam it here.
Super powerful. The Jades are so huge from Neirea already. It's already it's like it's turn 6. He's already got 5/5 Jades pretty much if the Aya dies, you know?
Yeah. Fuoliver can also just not catch up with the Jades at all, like his are 2/2, so even and not having the mana here at all to play in Jade Lightning. But there's an if you have an Earth Elemental, it's better than an Jade, so maybe defend it.
Is it better than Jades though? The Jades are quickly getting as big as their Earth Elemental.
Until now they are bad. Until now.
Yeah.
It's gonna go fast.
Yeah, the double innervate gadget is pretty insane.
Going for the red first, maybe looking for a Jade Idol, cycling, or maybe even playing and get more value from that. Well, he figured out the great trades already. Yeah. Swiping here together with the Jade Spirit. Alright.
He's gonna full clear the board to try and protect his gadgets and Auctioneer.
Yeah, also makes the Jade mechanic a little stronger by just killing Aya. Volcano would be a reasonable response here, but no Volcano at all, so it has to be the Jade Lightning. And but yeah, as we already said, like the Druid for Neirea has been a great deck against lineup. Like
it's just an auto win against almost all of Oliver's decks, but he couldn't ban it because the Quest Rogue was also an auto win against all of his decks. Those are just the two most oppressive anti-control decks in the entire game of Hearthstone.
Yeah.
They've really pushed a lot of decks out of the metagame. Like, you never see Control Warrior anymore and stuff like that. You see Taunt Warrior now because they can't beat these decks. It's just so impossible to close the game out against Jades or against the Quest Rogues. Ridiculous late game potentials.
Neirea also setting up a great turn 10 a little bit with Gadgets and Wild Grove together with Jade Idol is just insane. You can first cycle the Jade Idol and you have 3 draws with the Wild Grove to like find whatever possible Jade Idol.
The Volcano defense here, the Acolyte of Pain. If Volcano comes out, you draw 3 cards, which is crazy busted. That's that sweet anti-Volcano tech.
I'm not sure if it's in the deck for the Volcano tech necessarily.
It works out though.
It works out also. It's always great when there are like some additional techs you maybe don't really think of, but you can just say, yeah, hey, this is what I did about it.
This is what we wanted. Perfect.
Nailed it, you will say, right?
Nailed it,
yeah.
Using Primordial Drake, he can get an additional draw off his Acolyte if he wants, or honestly, it's not a bad gadget turn when you have double Wild Growth alongside it.
The Wild Growths are so strong.
Yeah, he's investing one of the Wild Growths now so that he can have some free mana with his gadget on the gadget turn and maybe shuffle in Jade Idol and then draw all of those cards.
Yeah. So things also are not gonna get much better for Fuoliver. The comeback mechanic is just so bad here for the Shaman. Like, even if there will be a Volcano on board, Clear and Hex.
Yeah. He hasn't even totemed all game. His Thing from Below still costs 6. So that's one of the comeback mechanisms a lot of time. And he's just not feeling it.
No.
I can't imagine any way he comes back in this game, so I agree with his decision to just kind of scoop.
He also counted this one out. He was already like, yeah, the Jade Druid.
It's going to get a win.
Yeah.
There's not much he can do. That's kind of just how the lineups pan out. But he has his own Jade Druid, which is kind of in the same boat. His own Jade Druid is most likely going to get a win against any of Neirea's decks as well. So it kind of changes the best of 7 into a best of 5.
I actually think Neirea won't ban also the Jade Druid.
Oh yeah, he did ban the Jade Druid, right? Because he doesn't have Quest Rogue. That's the big difference. That's huge.
It's a huge difference. The biggest problem for Neirea is going to be the Taunt Warrior. He is Taunt Warrior is also more teched towards aggressive decks.
We've seen that as a problem in these control mirrors.
And, well, you know, like the Jade Shaman is a really big pain with just the Jades, the Echoes, but also the hero power. But it's just a really annoying for the Ragnarok's hero power. And I also think we are going to get to an interview now from Neirea, see what he has to say about the match.
Я Женя, Neirea, играю за Team Liquid. Я просыпаюсь, кушаю, проверяю мейл, твиттер и так далее, всю сеть. Дальше смотрю стрим, и потом стримлю сам, если стримлю. Или вместо стрима играю турнир. потом после турнира либо во что-то играю, либо смотрю стрим опять и ложусь спать. Я мало играю в ладдере по сравнению с другими проигроками. То есть у меня нет какого-то там прям грайнд, задротишь до того момента, пока не возьмешь ранг. Типа, ну возьму и возьму, не возьму, не возьму. Все равно не так много очков нужно, чтобы квалифицироваться на прелимы и так далее. А ради просто игры в ладдере смысла не вижу играть, потому что это не помогает в турнире никак. Обычно тилт происходит, когда ты стримишь, потому что ты к этому относишься более серьезно, к тому, что ты делаешь, ты затрагиваешь аудиторию, ты рассказываешь, что делаешь. И поэтому, когда что-то происходит, начинаешь, конечно, бэйби-рейджить. Но с опытом приходит, что нужно проще к этому относиться и больше думать аналитически, оценивать шансы на игру. Типа, если ты замисплеил и проиграл игру, неважно, насколько везучим твой соперник был. Если ты замисплеил, значит твоя вина, а не то, что ему повезло. Я не думаю, что во время какой-нибудь игры я был прям слишком вообще очень зол. Было, что расстроен. Было такое, что я думал, как так? Там он задровал ту карту. Но на следующий день уже это не особо влияло. То есть на настроение никак. Быстро проходит. Осенью прошлого года, точнее, в прошлом году, вообще в 2016 у меня не было вообще никаких результатов. Во всех прелимах не заходил то ли лайнап, то ли просто как-то не шло. Не моя мета была. И я думал, типа, уже переключаться на что-то другое, если не пойдет на ВСГ. Или там с другими турнирами. Если не пойдет за пару турниров, то уже буду переключаться. Но пошло, и я рад, что не закончил раньше. Но, как я говорил, я мало играю. Я играю только, когда нужно играть. И в целом, в основном я ладдер играю либо в конец сезона, последние несколько дней, либо на стриме. По-другому никак. То есть мотивация у меня игры прям такой, что прям играть, нет. Но есть мотивация, когда турнир подходит, и нужно готовиться к нему, тогда появляется большая мотивация выиграть их. Но мой самый большой фан, конечно же, мама, а по-другому и не может быть. Я думаю, что другие фанаты просто болеют ко мне как за игрока, правильно? А тут вдвойне, как и за сына, и как и за игрока. Я бы сказал, что из всех игроков у меня есть... То есть мне нравятся те игроки, которые думают по-другому или видят вещи по-другому, чем я. То есть Колен-то тот же. Мне нравится с ним общаться именно и смотреть, как он играет, потому что он немного по-другому видит Hearthstone и вообще игры. Поэтому мы как-то дополняем в Global Games друг друга. В чем смысл Hearthstone? Многие называют его тупо рандом игрой и так далее. Все зависит от везения. Но дело в том, что Hearthstone — это как ты манипулируешь везением. В плане есть у каждого рандома есть свой шанс, правильно? И работа игрока профессионального увеличить эти шансы до того момента, пока он не станет максимальным. И за счет этого твой винрейт поднимается достаточно высоко по сравнению с каким-то просто средненьким игроком в легенде.
StarLadder I-League StarSeries Season 3 finalist, Neirea.
All right, we are back. That was a little bit on the inside of what's going on in Neirea's head, how he thinks about the game. He mentioned that he really looks up to you, Calento.
Thank you. Yeah, I always appreciate it to hear it a little back, but yeah. Jokes aside, it's also great to get a little bit more insight. It's always great to hear a little bit of the story, how everybody just has a little bit of a different look. Neirea not being the grinder on the ladder, not being the guy that plays the 10 hours, but just when there is something big, a really tournament guy. He just wants to play at these tournaments and practice as well for the tournaments as he can. And he has been doing great.
He has been doing great lately. He said he didn't have a lot of accomplishments until this year. And this year, he's really been on a roll, really coming into his own. You know, it's maybe the tortoise and the hare approach. He's been kind of spacing things out, taking it slow. Other people starting to get burned out, and now it's his time to take over.
Yeah, and now also going to Shanghai for the second time in a row, qualifying as a top 4 in Europe is just insane.
It's a very big accomplishment. But if he's going to make it through here, he has to take down the Shaman of Oliver.
Okay, and this is a really interesting matchup. I love this matchup in general, just because it's a really skillful one. I feel that it's a freeze mage from Neirea more, and he's playing against the Shaman again.
Right.
What is an the Shaman is running some heal.
Yeah.
The Shaman is running the echoes.
Okay.
But it's not. It's gonna be a little bit difficult to connect all the heal that a freeze mage can burn to.
Right. The Shaman doesn't have too much draw. It has what, like 18 points of healing?
Yeah, well, but it's also a little slow. I mean, when you play in Jinju, and even you have the echo on it, like, it has to die.
It has to die, right? Sometimes you gotta volcano your own board.
And if Neirea, and that's a really big strategy that Neirea will probably also go for, at that point, you're not killing the minions anymore. He's not gonna kill echo minions. Like, let the Shaman volcano his own board or do some stupid defensive plays. Neirea is looking for that burn plan after he drew as much as he called.
Yeah, I would say that this is Mage favored. We've seen this matchup play out with not Freeze Mage, but with Sai Gunther Mage, and every single time the Mage is able to find enough burn. Like, the Shaman healing usually isn't enough.
Yeah, and as long as there's no Bloodlust in the Shaman, what there not is, it's also it gives so much more freedom.
Right.
And what for sometimes the Gunther Mage is a problem, there are no freeze effects. So sometimes you take a little much, but a Freeze Mage has that ability.
Yeah, he's even got extra freeze effects off the glyph now. He's got 3 freeze effects in his hand. He already has the Alexstrasza. He's in good progress towards winning this match.
Yeah, a big thing that Neirea just wants to follow is draw. Like, it's so important against the Shaman to draw to the maximum and hope that at the bottom of the 10 cards for the Shaman there's 1 heal card or an echo, and then the heal shall be more than enough, or the burn shall be more enough.
Oliver was thinking about launching that Jade Lightning at Neirea's face just to start ramping the Jade count up and get the damage in. That's how aggressively he's thinking he has to play, because he has a limited amount of time to be able to kill Neirea. You can't really out-heal Freeze Mage. It has too much burn within the deck. Even though you have 16 points of healing and you can Spirit Echo for more, it's often too difficult to set up, like you were saying, so you have to pressure them. You have to make them use their burn as removal. You have to make them in awkward spots if you're going to be able to win this as the Jade Shaman. So Oliver's on this pressure plan.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Neirea's looking for even more freeze. Already picking up 1 Nova, maybe another one is a little too much. I like the portal a little bit. Not really getting the much draw going in the way of Arcanal what can be like really cycling much faster. And the thing from below comes down.
Now Neirea has the choice if he wants to remove it with the Firelands portal or maybe use freezes later on, save it for burn, but yeah, he's just going to remove it right now. The tempo is so huge. You kill your opponent's only real minion and put a 5-drop in play. And
it's a great 5-drop too.
It is, yeah. Fantastic one. That one almost sees competitive play. There's a lot of decks that is like kind of slots in occasionally.
And this is the reason why. It's already in 4-7.
It's just great
even
stats.
Without the taunt.
Yeah. Alec here gets a little bit of burst damage for Oliver. That's not too bad.
Mana Tide, great for the early game.
Getting that draw, trying to draw out removal from Neirea, right? He doesn't want to allow Oliver to draw his entire deck, so he may have to consider, you know, frost pulsing it, and then that's just less damage you can chuck at the face later on.
Neirea really getting into some draw mechanics now. What is really key for him this matchup. If you look at the board now, from Neirea's perspective, there is just it's 1 damage.
Yeah, there's nothing happening.
So he has a lot of freedom. Probably wants to look for ways maybe to deal with the mana tide, but there is still a lot of freedom for Neirea at turn 7. What is, but you normally don't want to give the freeze mage.
Right. He's got all the time in the world. I imagine he doesn't want to flame strike. He wants to probably clear the board going into turn 9. So like on turn 8, he wants to clear the board. So for now, I think he should just probably set up the ice block, get ready to maybe Alex's opponent on 9. Take care of the Mana Tide, sure. He's just got dominant board control with minions as Freeze Mage, which is unusual.
That's pretty insane, because it's not a Medivh Mage.
Right.
But actually, will be maybe better for Fuoliver if he will be facing that. He's having a Harrison, for example, in his Shaman, so he's kind of well tagged for a more Medivh Mage.
Did not prepare for the Freeze Mage.
Running a Lightning Bolt here too, to have some additional removal. Not too bad here either.
Not too good.
Not too good also.
all of his plays look awful. I don't. What do you think?
Yeah, like he needs to get this Jade mechanic going. Jade Chieftain is like not doing it enough, and yeah, maybe you wanna connect the Jade Lightning here. I was thinking of Jade Lightning Bolt, the 4/7 there.
Okay.
Not sure what here. Getting a Maelstrom going. Maybe he wanted to go for the Maelstrom for tempo over a totem. I will have.
Hexing after the Maelstrom seems strange.
That's an interesting order.
Right. I don't think he knew what he was doing that turn.
Yeah,
and then totem last, he could have gotten.
I definitely think this wasn't.
That was a very questionable turn.
I don't think he really figured out the turn once he went for the Maelstrom early.
Right.
Realizing that he should actually maybe play in removal. Could go for the Hex or the Lightning Bolt with the Jade Lightning seems also pretty reasonable to me. Had to be one of these two. Definitely not the way to play it out the turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, spell damage totem might give him a little bit more room because the second one.
Yeah, the second Maelstrom portal now clears the board, which is fantastic. And he can develop some behind this. Start ramping the Jades if he wants and squeeze out an additional totem. The totems are not very powerful as, like, they kind of just make your Spirit Echoes worse later on.
Yeah.
And threaten to overdraw cards for you, but does discount your second thing from below, or a thing from below that you could find off Stonehill Defender.
The turns are not so optimal for Fuoliver. Is now actually lightning bolting face here.
He got Piggy.
Can get one more damage in.
Look at that board control. Now, Neirea doesn't have to fear Bloodlust. There's no Bloodlust in Oliver's deck, so he could just slam down this Alexstrasza if he wants, and then he follows this up with 3, 6, 9, 15 points of burn.
Yeah, and this is just the biggest problem for the Shaman, to handle this early, all the draw mechanics, and then just handle this early Alex, because now he already needs to develop all the heal cards, get an Echo going, and over time kill off his Jinyus, his Water Speak. So it's so difficult for the Shaman to have all this time.
Right. And Neirea could even be patient. He could Blizzard this turn, and then once the redevelopment happens, he could Alex Frost Nova for 1 if he wants, but
I think he's looking at the board and he sees 4 damage, and it's like, well, maybe this is the turn for Alex.
Yeah, there's like not very much punish for it. It's very difficult for Oliver to heal and Hex and Spirit Echo all in the same turn.
Even the Alexstrasza is just such a big problem. Doesn't have strong taunts, doesn't have strong minions. Already used one of its Hex, so Jade Lightning might be the pickup there. He was looking for a little bit to just deal with the Alex, but
it deals with the Alex. He gets a 3/3 Jade Golem.
It's a little
bit. He can then heal for 4, so he's not dead, but he's pretty darn close.
Yeah, it's a turn that is not losing him here directly, but doesn't make the things better that he will still be alive in 2 or 3 turns.
Neirea then, he has 15 burn in his hand, and he's drawing towards more burn. He's Freeze Mage. His whole deck is freeze, draw, and burn, and he has all the freeze in his hand, so that means, you know, process of elimination. All that's left is burn and draw. And he needs to find 3 additional points of damage after the Hot Spring Guardian comes down.
Alright, even playing it in some way slow with the totem.
Thalnos adds additional damage, so you can Thalnos, Fireball, Frostbolt, Ping. And then that sets up the lethal for the next turn.
Well, if there is a secret up, it's already 6, 9, and 12, 15.
Yeah.
So it's
squeeze
really
in Ping and double spell power, and you're good to go.
like 15 damage in the hand. If you can ship 2 damage with the Thalnos and 1 with the Ping, you're just there. So I think Neirea sees that play too. And
now, Oliver needs to find a Spirit Echo and then kill off his own Hot Spring Guardian, or he needs to find one of the other 3 healing cards.
Yeah.
And none of those happened, So he is dead at the moment. Is there any devolve magic that could happen?
Devolve magic. Wow.
Nope.
That doesn't do it, indeed. No, and also no defensive mechanic in this hand at all.
Yeah, this seems to be the way this matchup has been playing out. This is, I think, the third time I've casted this matchup this tournament, or a Mage versus this kind of Jade Echo Shaman. They just don't have the draw power to find the heal consistently enough. You'd think they would be able to out-heal the Mage, but they have not been able to out-heal the Mage once this tournament.
It's the big problem if you play against Freeze Mage. They have more draw. They have not. They are not. You're not as focused on the board as the Medivh Mage that you have maybe some decent counters to. All your removal cards are just dead.
Yeah,
always.
Volcano only kills your stuff. Like a Devolve does nothing.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you get a Doomsayer or a Loot Hoarder, I guess. But yeah, so that's gonna be a quick 2-0 lead for Neirea in the series. What decks does he have remaining?
Well, Neirea definitely got two of his better decks out,
Sure.
I have to say. We already said like the Taunt Warrior is
The
one
problem,
of the decks.
yeah.
Yeah, and there is a Shaman.
His own Shaman.
Right? Yes, but it's a more a faster Shaman.
Right.
It is plays more the Evolve that we have seen in the tournament already. The more aggressive Evolve Shaman.
And now, do you like that Shaman more than the Jade Shaman? Which one would you prefer in like a controlling style lineup? Because they both have a control style lineup. What Shaman do you think suits it better?
It might be, for a really control style item, maybe the Jade Shaman is a little bit better. The only reason why I would go then for what Neirea did is to counter aggro a little bit better.
Okay,
Because then
just
I
kinda
can
hedge your bets a little bit.
Yeah, I can see that with that you have like a better matchup against the Druids, the Paladins a little maybe. But also I have to say Jade Shaman being a great deck against Paladin.
Okay. I don't really believe in this Jade Shaman, man. I think Jade Shaman has been the lowest win rate deck in the tournament so far.
Yeah, Taunt Warrior has also been.
Taunt Warrior is down there too. It's like Jade Shaman and Taunt Warrior have been the lowest win rate decks. I mean, it is a very heavy control meta, so you would think Jade decks would perform.
The big issue for Taunt Warrior is just it's a good deck, but it's just a deck you can also counter.
Right, everyone's targeting it, so that's why it's
a lot
down
of
at the
people
win
are
rate.
targeting it here.
Sure.
For the Jade Shaman, it's a little bit other side. It's
just-
one of the decks that tries to counter, but maybe doesn't have the power
Right,
level itself.
maybe it's too weak of a deck. Yeah. So we see Neirea, he has Jades in his deck, but it is not the Jade Shaman. It is the Doppelgangster Evolved Double Bloodlust Shaman, which really relies on having board. So he really did not want to have it queue into Oliver's Shaman, because Oliver's Double Volcano Shaman is going to be able to keep Neirea off the board, which is going to lower the value of his Evolves and lower the value of his Bloodlust significantly. So having that Volcano in the opening hand there for Oliver is amazing.
Neirea having quite a good hand here, I have to say though, with Mana Tide being one of the best cards in against a control deck for the Shaman. You are just able to play it early, and at worst case it gets killed. But hey, we draw another card, and my opponent doesn't. So with the early Mana Tides against the control, when your opponent is just not on the board, you're always getting a little card advantage.
They have to spend one card to kill a card that already drew you a card.
Yeah.
And then you're up one card.
I like that.
I like it too.
I like more cards.
Cards are great.
Wow, already an early devolve here. Doesn't make them more
Mana
too much
adding.
rare.
Ooh.
Well, evolve not a great synergy though, I have to say.
Yeah, Oliver still nothing on the board, so he's got no way that he can answer this. There's like not even a card in his deck, right, besides Jade Lightning.
I'm not sure about that devolve so fast. I mean,
He wanted to stop the Mana Tide from getting out of control.
that's what they did. But
Then there's a second one.
the other two minions just didn't really get weaker at all. Like Patches is a Wisp, one that already charged in your face.
Yeah. Now Neirea wants to just protect this Mana Tide. He saw that it was not answered by Jade Lightning, so he can assume that that's not there. Oliver is overloaded by 1, so he cannot Volcano.
What is going to be a big problem for Fuoliver is that he's always going to feel the pressure of Bloodlust in 1 or 2 turns. If it's there, if it's not there, he just has to respect it. You just cannot let it go. Also, the Jinju last turn, I just didn't like. I feel like you might really need badly the Volcano at turn 5.
He was able to pick up the Jade Lightning, so it worked out for him. He can finally shut down this Mana Tide that has already gotten Neirea huge card advantage, drawn him into the Bloodlust and the Doppelgangster Evolve combo, so he has all of the gas.
I just like Maelstrom a lot now because it is one of the weakest cards against Jade Shaman. And hey, it even deals 2 charge damage now.
Right, you cash it in.
It's just 2 additional damage.
Gonna hold it back. Maelstrom is a very good card against Shaman in general, though.
Okay, Neirea is just going here for the board, playing
Right,
still well around Roll Volcano.
Right, he's got so much health on board. He has 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 18, 19 health on board. So Volcano does not full clear this board.
Still good though. It will most likely let the thing from below survive and maybe 1 additional minion, but
I mean, Oliver has to Volcano, right? Otherwise he just gets bloodlusted and dies.
And that's the problem for this matchup, for the Jade Shaman. If you are not getting early on board, there are ways for the Jade Shaman to get on board. Like there are the Jade Claws, the Maelstroms. They're great in the early game, but if you're not hitting these pieces and you're facing an aggressive start,
yeah, you just get run over. And Neirea played this perfectly, overextending to play around Volcano. So sometimes players miss opportunities to really do that, and Neirea did not miss this opportunity. And the Volcano going to be forced out here for limited value. See Neirea just nodding his head. He was expecting that.
That's an interesting Volcano, actually killing the thing from below and not even touching the taunt totem.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Among Us.
Well, he does not have a second Volcano.
No silence in Shaman either.
This Bloodlust is going to kill him. Unless he rolls Spell Power and gets rid of this 8-2.
Yeah, that 8-2 looks really,
that's a bummer.
Aggressive.
Yeah.
And the Evolve is so strong.
He gets the Spell Power. That's big.
Wow.
So he's still alive. He can come back. There is healing in the deck. I'm on the field. Anything's possible.
And there is an Among Us and a Net Pagel. They are not dealing much damage itself.
So Bloodlust now, not even a lot of damage for Neirea.
No, it's just +3.
2 of them.
It's a Lightning Bolt.
Yeah. But he can just repopulate the board.
Yeah.
A bunch of AoE has been used. The Maelstrom Portal was used. The Volcano's used. Oliver does not have any copies of Lightning Storm in his deck.
Healing Totem and Spell Totem look quite great here.
Yeah.
I would like to probably still kill this Spell Totem away. Yeah, and this just, again...
There's lethal setup. He needs to clear.
Neirea's just, hey, do you have another removal? Yeah, need to have it now.
Yeah, that's kind of a trend in Hearthstone. The aggressive decks, or the decks that are always proposing threats, can oftentimes do well against control decks. Like board flood decks like Aggro Druid can do pretty well against a lot of decks, as well as like the mid-range Murloc Paladin just destroys control Paladin.
Yeah.
Because they run out of answers. They just have the ability to go the distance. So kind of mid-rangey decks that flood the board a lot are oftentimes super effective in Hearthstone against aggro. So the choice here between the Shamans and the control lineup working out very well for Neirea, taking a little bit of a different route than all the other players, where all the other players chose this Jade control Shaman. He kind of took a different approach to it, heavily rewarded.
So 7 mana available.
Right, he can Maelstrom Portal, and then the 1/1 plus the Bloodlust trades up, and he gets 3, 6, 9 from the Bloodlust, which then he is 14, and then 15, 16 with the Jade Claws, allowing him to have lethal.
That's a really early aggressive lead Neirea's taking. Going actually 3-0 up in this just really control mirror match, I would say.
Not something you see every day. But
it has been a little bit also in the what we have seen yesterday. Like, yeah, some control decks are like Fuoliver definitely has a greedier control lineup, but being greedier doesn't just simply improve the control matchup.
Sure, you don't want to always be greedier. A lot of the times the control matchups can come down, especially in mirror matches, about tempo. Having additional tempo allows you to be in positions where your opponent has to use resources inefficiently, which then makes it so your less greedy deck can win.
Yeah, and we just see it here again, like as a big example.
Yeah, and so now we're going to check in with Fuoliver, see what he has to say, his little interview piece.
我叫温酒长华佗，我是那个中国的一位主播兼选手。可以这么说吧，以前在去年的时候，我基本上每天可能有10到12个小时在玩炉石，然后今年的话，可能从3月份开始吧，就是我做个决定吧，可能就是把更多时间精力可能放在其他的方面上面，就说所以说的话，可能 我在炉石方面投入的时间精力的话可能比较少。就从3月份到现在的话，可能我加起来可能只上线不到10个小时吧，就是。我觉得炉石游戏其实是非常好的一个游戏，就是在玩炉石3年时间吧，我觉得我经历了很多，包括我们战队的起起落落，包括我们做中国炉石的发展，包括还有很多东西。在这其中的话，我觉得收获了很多，也学到很多东西。这个游戏的话也伴随着我来成长，我还是非常喜欢，也非常感谢这个游戏。其实我觉得我现在应该算是离开，当然比赛我会打，只要我能报到名的，我能打的比赛，不管黄金赛，不管什么其他比赛，只要能打的话我还会打。但可能我的时间、我的精力可能，就不会像以前那样，大部分放在炉石上面，可能我会做一些其他要做的事情。我觉得我最大粉丝、最大支持的话是，平时经常看我直播，还有在比赛当中为我加油的那些粉丝们，然后包括我的老婆，包括我的家人，对我都是很大的支持。他们都是我能够不断坚持，能够坚持到现在的一个非常重要的一个动力。我觉得炉石这是一个非常好的游戏，而且就是我可以说吧，我从炉石内测到现在已经有差不多3年多的时间，3年多4年的时间了吧，从13年到现在。应该来说，我见证了这个游戏的从无到有，从它的从零到它的巅峰，然后到现在，我觉得我见证了炉石的整个发展过程。我觉得炉石游戏其实是一个非常好玩的游戏，而且它是一个划时代的，它是一个重新定义了卡牌对战游戏的一款游戏。可以说它是无论在多少年以后，炉石这个游戏必然是一个里程碑式的一个游戏，因为它让玩家、让游戏厂商认识到了，其实卡牌游戏是一个能够做成一个大众向的一个游戏。我觉得炉石这个成功的话，是有它跨时代意义的。
StarLadder I-League StarSeries Season 3 finalist, Fuoliver.
Welcome back. We are in the middle of the series. Fuoliver down 0-3.
Yeah, and we have also now seen a little bit the interview. Said that he only played 10 hours a month. Like,
not a lot of practice going on. He says he's kind of feels like he already left the game. Only plays a lot when he's qualified to tournaments, and that might be what's costing him because other pro players play a lot more than 10 hours a month.
Well, I can see what I sometimes play a day. So
right, yeah, it's a skill-based game. As much as people like to meme about it, you do need to practice to be good at the game.
It just pays off in the long term.
It pays off in the long term. You know, Neirea has been playing a lot lately, playing a lot of tournaments, and I have to say that's probably why he's ahead in this series.
Yeah.
But Fuoliver trying to clutch back on his experience. He says he's been playing since the beta. He's watched the game grow. He's a very experienced veteran of the game, and maybe just being around for that long can help him.
Well, I actually remember that I've also faced against him like 2 years ago in the European against the China tournament, and he has definitely been shown really great results from the early stages in Hearthstone, and falling a little off, and yeah, now seeing that he has just really also having maybe a little bit motivation issue to keep himself motivated in the game.
A lot of players are reaching that point where they start struggling like that. They just feel like, I haven't had my big tournament break yet, maybe I should give up. And for some players here, we saw some interviews earlier on, a lot of players were saying, you know, this is my last year. If I, like, we spoke with PF, he said this is his last year. If he doesn't do well in something, then he's going to quit. And so this is a big bubble point for a lot of players. Oliver might feel the same way.
And that's great about the StarLadder tournament in general, that there are the opportunities to get there. But because it's sometimes so tough to get in the HCT tour with so little players, and in China, the Gold Series is always also a great tournament to get a little bit in the scene.
You got to get that exposure. It's hard work, a lot of grinding, a lot of tournaments to make it, and these players have a chance to do it here today.
A little bit to the matchup we are facing now. It is again the Shaman. He wants to. He really
needs that win.
The Shaman against the Taunt Warrior from Neirea, which is a matchup that is in a way close, but in a way also pretty favored for the Jade Shaman, I would say. Just having the Jade mechanic, the echoes, it's so hard to run out of value.
Yeah, the interesting thing here is the Taunt Warrior is kind of the aggressor because the Jades go not infinite like Jade Druid, but close enough to infinite that the Jade Druid can oftentimes outvalue the Taunt Warrior. But the Taunt Warrior has actually a lot of aggression that it can pull out with the usage of a card Brawl. So the Taunt Warrior's objective is to complete the quest and then utilize those brawls for 16 points of burst alongside the weapon from completing the quest. That's 24 total damage. So you can actually close out games pretty quickly once you complete the quest if you're able to save brawls for post-quest.
Yeah, and yeah, Taunt Warrior is just a mid-range warrior at the moment. Like it's really now with the aggressive power of the from the Ragnaros, it's just you have to be aggressive.
Right.
But I always like to see the old Hearthstone things coming back in this. Shaman, it has always been a little bit of a counter to a warrior. Like in Control, Shaman 2 and Warrior, we know how good the hero power from a Shaman is against the hero power from a warrior.
And how detrimental it can be, sometimes overdrawing you with the the Spirit Echo or winning brawls. I really want to see him slam this White Eyes here. I think a lot of players, when I've been casting this matchup in particular, have not been playing it aggressively enough. And they've been getting in situations where they have to pass on a full hand because their board's full, they have Spirit Echo in their hand, and they can't really do anything. So I like this aggressive play from Oliver. I think that's the way you have to play the matchup.
White Eye is also a great card to pick from Stonehill Defender also in this matchup, because once you pick up the 10-10, it's one of the only minions that can survive a wreck shot in the later game.
Yeah. Now Neirea needs to make progress towards the quest and not die, and try and save crucial resources for post-quest, because he needs to guarantee rag shots to go face.
Neirea having a super slow warrior hand here.
Yeah, really, really slow, and he needs to save as much removal as possible for after the quest so he can control his RNG. Control those rag shots, guarantee them to get the damage in. Otherwise, there's going to be a million totems and whatnot blocking the way. No progress.
Yeah, well.
Slow and steady.
You have to start somewhere.
Right, yeah, the beginning. Ugh. I mean, he's got Primordial Drake for next turn, so it's not too bad.
Yeah. Having the Harrison just after he saw the J-Claws might be a little painful, but we know Fuoliver is having a J-Claws, and it's not unlikely that we're going to see it play here or in the next 2 turns.
He's going for the devolve, trying to get better trades on the board.
Well,
Gets much better trades on the board. Did you know the Ironforge Rifleman is the lowest win rate card when played in all of Hearthstone?
Is it?
It is, yeah. The reason being it's included in most of the basic decks, so a lot of new players play it, and their stats get cataloged. But yeah, people farm people playing Ironforge Rifleman.
That's so unfair.
Right, it's a sad little card. But again, I'd love to see Oliver constantly pressuring. If you can force the Taunt Warrior to brawl before their quest is done, their brawl is not being used to push 8 damage at your face. If brawl is not being used to push 8 damage at your face, eventually you outvalue them with totems and can just dodge rag shots at the end very easily.
Yeah, one thing for Fuoliver is so important. Think from Below might be the best card for the Spirit Echo. So you really want to maybe get as much totems in as you can to make that Think from Below super cheap to connect it afterwards with an Spirit Echo, but actually
no swing with the weapon plays right into Neirea's tech card of Harrison Jones, allowing him to get a lot more fuel. He's going to be able to complete the quest a lot faster this way.
I also super disagree with not toteming there, to be honest. With and Drake coming up, that doesn't matter, like it dies anyway. Making your Think from Below just costing 1 more.
He needs to get the cost of that down for the Echo, yeah.
That board is not going to get brawled. Like, it's the last thing Neirea. Well,
he needs to save the brawl. If he brawls, you're happy.
I mean, and 5/5 White Eyes and a 3/3 and some totems. Like, it's the last thing Neirea will brawl. So definitely think missing there the totem. It actually pays already. Maybe here already it hurts him. Where he could maybe connect the Think from Below together with the Spirit Echo.
Right.
Not getting that ability here. But I think was a great play on this, or unreasonable play on this board.
He can now use the Spirit Echo though to pair with the Jinyu Water Speaker if he wants. He has some hand size issues though, right? But getting a Stonehill Defender and a White Eyes isn't bad. It's not as good as getting Jade cards, but you have to kind of get the value out of the Spirit Echo sooner rather than later so that you can repopulate the board and pressure your opponent. If you give them more time to complete the quest, eventually Taunt Warrior is going to assemble rag shots to your face. You just give them more opportunities to do that, the less pressure you put out.
Wow, Spirit Echo connecting here.
Yeah, I like it. I think you got to play this matchup very aggressively.
I also agree. Not wanting.
He doesn't want to overdraw. He's afraid of that.
Right.
Yeah. Which is a bit strange.
I mean, Neirea's not going to brawl this board either.
Right, yeah, he's never brawling it, so he's not going to kill all of them most likely, but now he's guaranteeing that he's not going to overdraw. Whereas I feel like it's very unlikely he overdraws, and if he does, Neirea has to do something weird, like a Sleep with the Fishes clear on an inadequate board, and most of the time, the thing you overdraw doesn't matter. Because a Jinyu is, on average, probably better than a card in your deck at this point.
Alright, Neirea, just... As long as Fuoliver is not doing much, he's just playing here and there in taunt. Like, removals, they are not needed for Neirea yet, because there is just not really enough pressure from Fuoliver.
Yeah, and so he should try and change that.
I don't think that's the play.
I don't think it's Volcano, no. Put that one down, Oliver. You're getting a little... He's bluffing it. He's trying to pretend like it's something he could play.
Yeah, well... Hex seems reasonable, but it's also...
The thing about Hex that's so great is you remove a lot of armor gain from your opponent. So although you don't have the Hex for the potential Primordial Drake, you're not giving your opponent, 8 armor while you're killing their Alley Armorsmith.
That's true.
And it's only... The Primordial Drake only has 1 more health than the Alley Armorsmith, so they're pretty similar Hex targets. So I wouldn't mind the Hex. And then maybe just drop another White Eyes. If Brawl happens, you get a Stonehill Defender that you can throw out there. You have a thing from below.
Looking for the Spell Power Totem, maybe?
Okay, Spell Power Totem could help make the trades a little cleaner. But he's gonna Maelstrom this down. Doesn't mind giving Neirea a little bit of extra life. Take all the trades here.
Just gonna play White Eyes.
Yeah.
Or maybe not.
I'd like to see the White Eyes come down.
Yeah.
White Eyes
definitely with this line of play.
Or the Hot Spring Guardian, I think is fine.
We're not passing here ever.
No, I don't think you want to pass with 6 mana. I think you need to apply enough pressure to force Sim to brawl. That's the objective.
Place the Thing from Below over the White Eyes.
I don't understand why you do that. Thing from Below gets cheaper, White Eyes does not. But I guess he wants to pair it with the second Echo.
Well,
That's
then
the logic.
Thing from Below is a great card, because often you have to kill off your own minions to connect the Spirit Echo, and you can, Thing from Below is one of the greatest cards with Spirit Echo.
Right, because it comes out for 0 mana, but...
The game plan from Fuoliver is a really slow game plan. I'm really concerned if this is going to pay off. Because we are facing a mid-range warrior. We're not facing the old tank up.
The warrior has gas. They have offensive power once the quest gets completed. It's strange to think about, but it's how it works out, man.
Hex seems a good as a good response here, definitely.
Try and heal up his minions, maybe.
Neirea needing 2 taunts, and with the second rate Bruiser, Neirea is able to finish the quest next turn. But there is no direct rush. He can just do it the turns by still making good trades on board.
Another Thing from Below is very solid.
No Power Totem.
Well, Neirea can complete the quest, right?
Yeah, I'm just thinking, I mean, maybe a Ghoul Fishes is not too bad here either.
I don't like Ghoul Fishes. The reason why is because you
better
need to
in the
hit
late
8
game.
in the face when you're Ghoul Fishing. If you clear and don't hit him for 8 in the face, then that's a missed opportunity. He needs 2 taunts to complete it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would love to see him just complete the quest this turn and then set up for the future turn to be able to go Ghoul Fishes, clear the board, weapon him in the face, hero power him in the face. Every time you can connect the hero power to the face, guaranteed, you want to do that. So your entire game plan is setting that up to make it so that the Shaman's annoying board floods don't prevent you from hitting them in the face. So you try and save removal for those key points because you have the life total to do so. So I think this is a mistake. I really don't like it. I mean, I guess he's ahead on tempo, so maybe his minions can fight for the board still, but...
One of the problems you're also doing with this play is you give opportunities for Fuoliver to connect his bad cards in this matchup. What is a Volcano?
Yeah, now
because the Shaman shall be on board, and Volcano's just...
Yeah, Fuoliver doesn't have Bloodlust, so that big board doesn't really do that much to you. It hits you for, like, what was it, like 7 power? So then you complete the quest the following turn, Ghoul, Fishes, quest, or play the weapon from the quest, hit him in the face, hero power.
Alright, no White Eyes here on the board getting played. Just going for the Golem. totem.
Yeah, he knows the quest can be completed.
I'm not sure if I want to go for the thing from below here. You might want to connect it with the Spirit Echo next turn.
Yeah, I definitely think you want to save it.
It's so great. I would maybe like to even just drop the Jade Golem there over the Hero Power.
I don't mind playing Maelstrom Portal this turn, honestly.
I don't want to play this now. I really don't want to play this.
Next turn you had... you're overloaded, though, so you can't go White Eyes, Spirit Echo, and Thing from below. So that's an issue, but...
I'm not ready.
Error. And quest completed for Neirea. Great pickup, the secondary Bruiser. Shaman having often quite some little totems here and there.
Tons of things on the board at all times. Hero Power is not too bad after killing the Taunt Totem. 2 out of 3 targets are good.
Yeah, can also go... yeah, it's probably going to be Armor Smith here then with it, so...
Yeah.
So maybe...
Hero Powering first. Doesn't mind hitting the Taunt Totem. Wants to save the weapon charges for face damage, or he wants to kill the minion.
Maybe he's thinking of wind. Alright.
Wow.
It's,
wants to deny that Spirit Echo value as much as he can.
well, it works off. Well, 8 mana, so not really able to play the White Eyes with the Storm Guardian. They like to be together on board, but...
Is just getting a Storm Guardian enough Spirit Echo value?
No, I would say not, but...
So what does he have to hold out for then for the Spirit Echo?
Yeah, well, Thing from below.
Thing from below. Yeah, well, that's gone. That opportunity's gone and past.
That's like, I mean, a Jade Chieftain.
Sure. His Jades are rather small at the moment.
I know.
He's
I mean, there are normally the Jade. Sometimes in Jade Spirit can be doing a god, but you need these cheaper cards to connect also with Spirit Echo. Like this is just.
Yeah, he agrees with you. He's holding out for more Spirit Echo value.
I feel Fuoliver is really feeling he's facing Control Warrior, and he plays it so heavy for the slowly, and Neirea's close to taking over the control. Might start with a Battle Rage. It's hard for him to maybe connect a Battle Rage again like this, where the minions are damaged. Not getting too much. Alright, hit there. Missing the 1 damage here a little bit, so just slamming the Crater. Getting also the last dragon out and drawing the beast, so it's great to actually have both of them now drawn. So the Crater value, he just got the maximum value from the Crater.
Not killing this White Eyes is a pretty big deal. That means this Spirit Echo gets to come down on the White Eyes and the Storm Guardian, which heavily punishes Neirea's decision here.
Probably playing the Maelstrom together with it, since it's a better trade. You get a little bit more Spirit Echo value.
That's a pretty big deal for the Spirit Echo.
Well, we talk about maybe needing a little value. Well, that might be the best one-drop for a Spirit Echo.
Well, he's got the 2 brawls now.
Yeah, maybe it's Emerald Drake here being so good, putting the minion at 8 HP. Like, yeah, we hope the Reg Shot hit, but otherwise the trade is still there for Neirea. I like to not execute.
Full board control for Neirea.
Yeah. Fuoliver, just the tempo being a big problem. Fire Elemental.
It's not a bad one.
No.
You might want to get value out of the Volcano this turn.
Yeah, I can agree with that, because it also connects well with the mana for a Storm Guardian.
Right.
I definitely think Volcano is the way to go here.
Yeah, and then you just drop out a Storm Guardian. Lines up really nicely, unless there is another Drake, you know. So.
Stonehill Defender. Neirea kind of looking for a damage card.
One of the things Neirea has, he has to worry about the healing from Oliver. Otherwise, each of these brawls could potentially turn into 8 damage, and he could swing, execute hero power, but the healing from Oliver hasn't been used yet, so it could really shut down that game plan.
And Fuoliver also just totally not on the Jade mechanic yet. I'm so surprised. Like, he's playing Jade Shaman, by the way.
He's got all the Jade cards left in the bottom of his deck.
He's not playing Wide Eyes, Storm Guardian, Shaman.
He just hasn't found them yet.
There's really, it's just 2/2 or 3/3s. Like, they're really... Star-Lord.
This is interesting that he chose to go with the Stonehill Defender. I would like to see him maybe swing hero power if it misses, execute, and then just take like a stronger position on the board with like the Direhorn Matriarch.
Yeah,
right now he's developed a 1/4 and a 1/4 instead of a 6/9 minion.
I actually agree with you there.
So I think this is it's just a much weaker board position.
Is it also Armor Smith or Acolyte? He might not want to draw anymore. I was thinking of mana efficiency there a little bit. Alright, back to Fuoliver here. Well, 5 mana 10/10s, not so bad.
It's not the worst card in the world. So Neirea developed a smaller minions, which makes it better for Brawl, I guess. And I guess both the 1/4s set up very well to trade into this. So I guess he's anticipating the Storm Guardian with his play, and that's why he decided to hold back the Direhorn Matriarch and go with the 2 1/4s. So if the Rag Shot hits, he could do this.
Yeah, it's definitely... Neirea also not having too much of a life issue. Sometimes the warrior can go really low on lives and has to feel a little pressure, but Neirea is still pretty free in whatever he can do.
Yeah, but he's also giving Oliver a lot of time. Like, Neirea is pressuring Oliver the slowest I've ever seen a Taunt Warrior pressure a Jade Shaman ever. If you look back earlier on in the tournament, we saw like Stansifka versus Zalay. Stansifka completed the quest on turn 9, killed Zalay by turn 11. Just had both brawls, connected them both for 8, and just took him out. I think Neirea's taking a different angle to this matchup for sure. He's trying to just outvalue him.
I think it has also a little bit more to do with Fuoliver that takes a super slow approach, but Neirea also, he's only running 1 Dirty Rat. He was running Armor Smiths, and Sivka didn't run Armor Smiths, and Sivka had like all the taunts. He just, every taunt that he could play that he found reasonable was in there, so a little bit more aggressive version. Wow, that hit.
That hit's a big deal.
Wow.
Now
Chris Alchemist is so good here. Or not.
Yeah, you can take out the Tar Lord, right?
+5.
Wait, does it?
How does this?
Yeah, it works.
Yeah.
It goes to a 5/11 and then gets +4 attack, so it's a 15/5, right? I believe that's how the math pans out.
Wow.
Yeah.
How a 1/11 can become a 15/5, man.
Yeah, and Oliver needs to commit extra onto the board to be able to heal here.
And one of the big problems that he knows is Brawl. I mean, we haven't seen a single Brawl. That Neirea just didn't need to play a single Brawl. It's pretty insane where how far we already are in the game.
And if Neirea can find like a War Axe, for example, then he can Brawl. A minion that dies to War Axe often lives. You War Axe that minion, and then the hero power connects with the face every time.
Maybe gonna see a Dirty Rat here.
I don't think he wanted to hit that Mana Tide. I think he's kind of exhausting Oliver at this point.
He's just saying, I'm not gonna brawl you.
Oh yeah, because there's no pressure on the board. It's 5 damage coming at him. He's got time. He's holding back Acolytes, playing towards a fatigue plan.
Yeah, he might be a little scared that he's gonna fatigue too fast.
Yeah. He's playing for the super late game in this matchup, instead of trying to finish it out as the Taunt Warrior.
Yeah, or maybe just wanting a little bit more from Fuoliver, wanting to commit the Jade Lightning here.
Once he can find the War Axe, he's going to be all set. Then he can connect the Rag Shot every time. Still no War Axe for him. So the Brawl's only a 50-50 to be able to connect. So I imagine he's going to continue being patient.
Yeah, well.
Oh, he hits. That's a solid target to remove the most pressure from the board.
Not too bad. I can't believe that minions from Neirea from 4 drops are just connecting the Jade Shaman on turn 20.
Yeah.
Normally you face 10/10s at this time. Well, there is the another Storm Guardian.
You're right.
really interesting game we got here. It's not how the matchup often goes.
5 cards left for Neirea, 4 cards left for Oliver. He's approaching fatigue rather quickly because of the Mana Tide.
Yeah, maybe Neirea just enjoys that and is like, well, you are not having much on the board, you're having card draw, let's just continue. And I mean, I'm still not counting much damage, I'm just counting 10, but it gets a little tricky maybe now, going to 19 lives.
Yeah, Neirea really needs to find a War Axe. It's that is so game-changing. It would allow his rag shots to not rely on RNG.
Yeah, the Brawl, the War Axe to hit clear off a minion and just get the rag shot in the face. Maybe it's just Star Creeper pass here. Of course, rag shot.
He's taking a lot of damage now.
10 is a little tricky.
He goes down to 9. That gets to the point where like one big Jade threatens to kill you. I think you have to heavily consider using Brawl here.
But if you could go Tar Creeper, yeah, it's a little... You might...
If you win the 50-50 on the Brawl, then you're in a fantastic position. Like for the rag shot to go to the face. He's going to be patient.
Yeah, I don't mind this. I don't mind this. I really... I will say
he's
Tar
playing
Creeper,
the Accolade of Pain.
I would like to see Tar Creeper maybe with it, but keeping on it. Fuoliver running 1 Lightning Bolt, he's only running 1 Chieftain, so just little burst there that Neirea always has to keep in mind. Neirea definitely knowing there's 1 Lightning Bolt in the list, and that's the burst he's playing around. The Jade Shaman also not running Flame Totems makes it really easy for Neirea to know what he can expect for damage. But Fuoliver, I feel he needs to, I mean, he has so much value in his hand. Just put a little pressure on. Yeah, he
doesn't want to draw cards with the Hearthstone, so playing that now seems reasonable. Drawing cards at this point does not help you.
But needs to pressure a little. He cannot just pass here, or I felt it already had to happen last turn. And it seems alright. Fuoliver spot here, but also just looking from Neirea. He knows this has to get brawled. Like, this is gonna get brawled.
And he's hoping he gets the War Axe here, so he does.
Oh,
he only has 3 cards left, right? So he's like guaranteed pretty much to get the War Axe.
The hit is pretty important, so the War Axe can kill it off if the Hot Spring Guardian survives it.
So now he can Brawl, and then there's 5 minions that could live that allow the hero power to go face. So it's 5 out of 8. Gets the roll he needs.
Well, maybe he does. Yeah, you probably
you still kill
it. It's a guaranteed 8 damage in the face.
Right. Well, Oliver does only have 1 card.
Yeah,
but
I mean, he can maybe find another. Can find another Hot Spring Guardian. He has the Stonehill Defender, what might bring a Wide Eyes, but
he needs to play as many taunts as possible because after the Brawl, he needs a taunt to live.
All right.
Yeah, and Neirea still has an Execute remaining, right?
I mean, he knows there is a second Brawl, but you gotta expect...
Brawl.
He thinks this is enough. It's on the low side, I have to say.
So after the Brawl, there's 1 minion.
Ghoul Fishes is not really clearing enough.
No.
That's not so
That's
great
not
for
good.
Neirea.
Yeah, that pulls out an 8/8 Golem off the Death Rattle. So that lowers his chances of actually being able to connect the rag shot to the face.
Yeah, Brawl just looks a little less appealing, but it has to happen here, otherwise just too likely he's gonna die. Oh wow, that's so... The taunt...
That's it. He needs to hit one of these minions. Hits the one that he...
But the taunt is so painful to survive for Neirea.
Well, he's only got 11 damage, right? Even if he rolls spell power. So that was the perfect rag shot for Neirea.
So now there is no Brawl anymore, and now Fuoliver just has to completely overextend the board. Elakir, oh my god.
Yeah, Elakir to help him set up for lethal on the following turn.
So I think every minion gets played here.
Right.
I don't want to keep this thing from below behind. I want to totem, I want to do as much as I can. You know there is no Brawl.
Even if he gets hit with the rag shot, he's only taking 2 fatigue damage, so he's going to stay alive.
Yeah, so the Warwick's also... Oh, that's a great pickup though.
it's not enough, right?
Is it? No, it can be enough. If the ghoul with the execute and vicious with an erect hero power hitting one of the other 2 minions. So there is a 66%.
Well, then Alakir kills you.
Yeah, but that's what Neirea does.
Oh, okay, you're sure.
But Neirea has, from his perspective, a 66% to just survive here by going with the ghoul executes first.
Yeah.
Not sure about. He's not planning on fishes. All right, he's playing a taunt. Okay, no, that's
Sure.
that might be actually better. Yeah.
Well, he knows there's Hex Lightning Bolt available, though, so the taunt play never works.
Oh wow, and actually Alakir not even having to show up 1 life. What a nail biter.
That was a nail biter. But I don't like the way, like I was saying the whole time, the game plan of how we've seen throughout this tournament Taunt Warriors win this matchup is they play very aggressively. They complete the quest, and then they translate, before the Jades get too big and before the pressure's too high, they translate their Sleep with the Fishes into face damage, they translate their Brawls into face damage, and the Shaman doesn't have enough healing and dies.
Yeah, I think definitely both players had some things they might want to look back at, like how do you want to approach the matchup in general.
I think that the matchup approach from Neirea's side was very questionable.
Neirea had a really slow opening end, like some of the early turns he wasn't able to fix the taunts, but I definitely think what you also pointed out of like how do you want to play the ghoul fishes.
You play it when it clears the board so you can hit him in the face, because that board's not doing anything. There's no Bloodlust in his deck. There's no way he's pushing more than whatever the number is on the board, which is like 7 at the time. And you had like 30 life. Who cares about 7 damage?
Yeah. And it was actually surprising how well the minions from Neirea were pointing out on the board. Like every minion just getting traits on board. That's not often what happens in a Taunt Warrior against Jade Shaman. Normally the Jade Shaman has already some board, has a mana tide here, trades your minion away, already has quite some Jades. Did he even saw Jades this game? They came so late.
Jades. Oliver had no business winning that game with how slow his Jades went. Io was the last card in his deck. By the time like the quest was done, his Jades were still 2-2.
All right, and it's actually a really painful lose for Neirea too, because his Taunt Warrior is the deck that Fuoliver is targeting, and now we are having the mirror here. Well, where a mirror is, of course, being always a close matchup, there are some decks that I would say favor Fuoliver, with Neirea only running 1 Dirty Rat, but it's also a great card to make the quest slower from your opponent. Fuoliver also running 1 Brawl, more Draw, so it's a lot of things that I would say version might be a little better.
Yeah, Fuoliver is going to be able to complete the quest on average faster than Neirea because of his density of taunts and his Dirty Rats that can stall the quest from Neirea, as well as his additional card draw within the deck itself. But there's still a bit of variance at how fast you can kind of complete the quest.
Of course, of course.
Yeah.
One of the great cards, Stonehill Defender for that, right? Always an early taunt, picking up another taunt.
It's a fantastic card, but actually the highest win rate card when kept off the mulligan is the Curator.
In the mirror,
I will
not expect in every matchup.
Not in every matchup, but in the mirror. And he has both. He has Stonehill Defender, he has Curator, he's got the whole package.
Yeah, like Curator is just guaranteed. It gets one of your Drakes out, so it even fits the curve. Getting often also the Beast, it's a great card. You just want 2 things. You want to play taunts and you want to have card draw. Well, there are 2 cards doing that job, Stonehill Defender and the Curator.
They're fantastic cards for the matchup.
Okay.
Meanwhile, you want to try and avoid drawing Whirlwinds, Executes, and Sleep with the Fishes. Both players have a few of those already.
So, Fuoliver, be a little friendly here, saying, let's both draw a card for now.
Yeah, everybody draw.
Do you want to pick the cheapest taunt? You're still looking for the stats.
I like the cheapest taunt. You're going to be drawing cards off this Acolyte. It's stuck around the last turn. It's expected to draw additional cards. And if that's the case, then you're going to have a bunch of taunts in your hand. You also have the Curator coming out soon, so you're going to have plenty of things that you need to be playing. So it makes sense. Take the Public Defender, try and finish the quest as aggressively as possible. But Neirea shutting down that draw.
Yeah, I like it. It's the way you win the game, drawing. So if you can keep your opponent low in the amount he can draw. I was actually thinking for Fuoliver to execute the 1-2 Acolyte once he made the trade, but...
Yeah, but he wanted to get the Stonehill out there.
I mean, now he's facing 3 draws from the R instead of 1.
He could execute it still.
Yeah, well, now it's...
Is that worth it?
No, now it's not worth it anymore.
Right, he only runs 1 Brawl, So his executes are a bit more valuable than Neirea's are, because he does kind of need them to come back if he falls behind on board and doesn't have that brawl. It's also just mana that you're spending not playing a taunt, which is a factor when it comes down to completing the quest in time. Yeah, Neirea getting a lot more card draw here than Oliver is in the early game.
Neirea picked up his Dirty Red too. Not sure when it comes down.
Well, you know for sure there's a taunt in his hand, so it's not a bad time to play it now.
No.
Playing it before turn 7
yeah,
is usually the way to do it, because you
say.
want to deny the Curator. So you play it on your turn 6 going into their turn 7, and you have the highest chance, hopefully, of sniping a Curator.
Also, one of the worst cards to pull out of it is the Primordial Drake still, so yeah. If you can do it before the Curator, you also deny that one.
Ooh, pulls out Public Defender. I mean, it's a taunt. Yeah, so it's fantastic. You didn't pull out Ravaging Ghoul, so you imagine Neirea's still pretty happy about it.
The early interaction in this matchup is always, you just see only taunts here around, and people are just, yeah, sometimes attacking, sometimes not attacking. Alright. Little Brave is probably the most aggressive taunt in the deck and can actually pull off some decent trades here, what Fuoliver did.
It's not a bad one.
It's kind of important to have a little bit of board pressure, favorable trades here and there.
Second execute coming down to further deny Oliver's draw.
Neirea has a plan.
Neirea is going to out-resource Oliver, it looks like. And it's working. Oliver's hand is garbage besides this Curator. Double War Axe is so bad.
Yeah, it is still that Fuoliver at least got the Defender and got the Curator saved in his hand. So he will still be like with the Curator connecting here, what I will suppose. I think it's great. You're gonna draw a second Drake, you're gonna draw the Beast, so there is just a lot going on.
Yeah, 3 out of 7.
Like the resources are not just gone for Fuoliver, he's still having quite reasonable tools.
Yeah. But oftentimes at the end game of this matchup, it comes down to hand sizes that are like 2 or 3 cards.
Yeah.
So getting those Acolytes kind of executed only getting 1 draw can become a factor when it starts getting down to the nitty-gritty of the resource wars. When one player has taunts to play to soak up rag shots and the other guy does not. The guy that does not usually dies.
What now?
So Neirea facing a little aggressive board here after twice executing an Acolyte.
And he knows the Primordial Drake can come down the next turn.
Yeah, like, it's a pretty common turn 8.
Yeah.
Especially in this matchup where you just want to slam as efficient as you can with the taunts. Yeah.
It's not a bad sleep with the fishes turn, actually. Trade in the ghoul, sleep with the fishes, play down the Direhorn Matriarch if you want.
Actually great, I love it.
Yeah.
Because I don't like the Drake here.
Yeah, the Drake's really ugly. You get 0 value out of your ghoul. 4 out of 7 on the quest.
Yeah,
has
two really expensive taunts. Neirea is also around 4.
Oh yeah, he's at 4 out of 7 as well. Well, he's 1 turn ahead in playing taunts.
Yeah, and also Fuoliver is having the more expensive taunts left. Actually, 5-7 was already here and connecting the full quest with 7 taunts being played.
Yeah, Neirea is in a great position to take this game, just so far ahead.
The problem also for Fuoliver is just he's having 2 Drakes in hand that are 8 mana. It's
yeah,
not
it's such a pain to play, and it's so vulnerable to play out into the quest. And just look at the hand size difference. Neirea's got so many things to do in his hand. Already having both brawls too.
Yeah. Maybe thinking of a brawl here.
Well, then you can't hero power.
Yeah.
You want to hero power like every turn. And brawl gets better once the weapon's equipped. Any clear is 10 times better once you have the weapon equipped and you can actually use the hero power. Because it means you're pushing 8 face damage with your board clear. And 8 is big.
Yeah, by trading here into the Direhorn is also a pretty reasonable shot in general. With 2 great minions to hit. Can still connect a Tar Creeper with it.
There you go.
Pretty alright. Fuoliver is still facing the problem of just not having the great resources in taunt, and that's why it might just have been already being so important the turn 3, where both players played Acolyte. The one decided to not execute the
and
Acolyte,
then the other guy decided to execute.
The other one decided to execute the.
Yeah.
Might being some knowledge. I mean, I have to say it's the way to win. Draw and playing taunts, and
it's working out very favorably for Neirea when he made that play. Oliver had the option to do it too.
Yeah.
He chose not to.
Great card in normally. Now a little bit late.
Yeah.
Still a 2-mana taunt.
So we can use it next turn to complete the quest, right?
Stan is also not doing too much here. If he wants to go the Drake, could always trade it away, but yeah.
Well, better late than never. Oliver is going to have his quest on time.
He's a little bit like he has some. Neirea is at 23, so once he finished the quest, just 3 times a hit can already. Yeah, so definitely not out of the game.
Yeah.
Dirty Red is gonna do it next turns, and he's already able to just fire a rack shot.
It's a very aggressive brawl from Neirea. Should have used the ghoul and the weapon swing to clear off the 2/5.
I think he was looking for if the 2/5 survives, he is also able to just trade away with the ghoul.
Right, and then guarantee the face shot.
Yeah. Ooh. Don't know if I like it though.
Yeah, the issue with the Harrison Jones is you can't utilize
8 damage.
Yeah, the 8 damage this turn, and that's important. The issue with the Dirty Red is you pull a minion from your opponent's hand to make it less likely that your rag hits him in the face.
You also don't know what the ghoul is. Like the Dirty Red is a little scary though. Like what is it going to pull out? It's often going to be in taunt. And
you know there's a Primordial Drake in his hand because he never played the one that he got off the Curator. So that's the big fear. Oh, he is going to take this opportunity.
Ooh, not having 3 mana left to clear well, but hoping the Sylvaris can probably connect into the Armor Smith. Not so likely in a mirror. Oh, that is the only outcome where Sylvaris can connect. I mean, imagine a Tarlord or an Armor Smith or a Primal Drake. This is called it paid off with Fuoliver, but really high risk with high reward play.
And he got that reward. I mean, when you're behind, those are the kind of plays you got to take.
Warex for Neirea, and I think Neirea, because life totals are super close, you need to
Why did he whirlwind?
Yeah, what is the wind about? He's actually killing his own minion.
He killed his ghoul on accident.
It's completely punished too, huh?
Yeah. He just killed his own ghoul.
Yeah, and wasted a card in a way.
This endgame has not been going well for Neirea. I didn't like his brawl. He got super low value out of his brawl earlier on in the previous turn. He got negative value out of his whirlwind.
And also life total, he's just not there anymore. And it's so important now every time to hit the face. You need the 8 damage in the face.
Yeah, and he's just not been setting it up. Well, you can connect 8 this turn. Trade in the
trade both in fishes.
Yeah, you trade both in fishes and then develop, or you could trade both in Primordial Drake.
Yeah, Drake is much better.
Yeah.
Drake is much better.
Connect 8 to the face. You're having to heal your opponent for 4, which is kind of annoying, right? So you could try and you got 2/3 to either hit in the face or not heal your opponent for 4. You could also try and use the execute this turn, so they heal your opponent less. But you know they have a Primordial Drake in hand, so saving execute for that might be better.
Yeah, I mean execute with ghoul is always great, especially with the Ragnarok's hero power you want just to clear every minion and hit the 8 in the face. Not so bad.
Yeah, both outcomes were fantastic.
Yeah. But both players are just super equal in life, but Neirea gave a little initiative away because he was the one that had the position of both life totals being the same, but had the shot first. What is not the case anymore.
Like 3 additional shots ahead of ahead of Oliver, and he's behind in tempo now somehow.
Made to fit.
And he's going to be taking another huge chunk of damage here.
And also Fuoliver is actually looking for the play to gain some armor that might be giving him even an additional turn.
Right. Now he's at 21 life, and Neirea right now has the rag shots are in intervals of 8, and then he's got the weapon for 3. So the armor gain actually puts him outside the range of double rag shot plus weapon. So Neirea needs the second weapon.
And this brawl is also kind of desperate because the ghoul just has to do it. This is a good outcome, and he's there, but things really have to go the way, and I don't really see it happening from this perspective. Every card that can possibly be in the hand is already a punish now. Well, and here with the War Axe and the Ragnar Zero power, Fuoliver is just getting back there after trio behind, taking to the 3-2.
Yeah, he's getting there. Neirea maybe getting a little bit tired.
I mean, I have to say, both of the series, there are definitely room to get the warrior out. It's not the great matchups he might have, but
yeah,
he definitely had room.
I think he was ahead in both of those games. I wasn't able to close it. You can see he's a little bit stressed out now, looking up at the ceiling, rubbing his eye.
It also, I mean, some things were obvious, like just the ghoul.
The ghoul whirlwind, right.
I mean, some things were just
you see that happen, you're obviously getting tilted. He needs to keep his head on him.
I mean, he shall be. I mean, there are tournaments where he has been playing Swiss for 7 rounds in a row. You lose at some point if you go for 6-1, and you have to catch up again. Maybe you gather some rest in between, what might help, but Neirea, he shall be on level 2.
This is his first match of the day, too.
It's the first match of the day.
If he's getting tired now.
And it is home country. I mean,
it's his home country, first match of the day. He was up 3-0. He's starting to slip.
Yeah, and also he doesn't have the best matchups left. Like, I think the Paladin is a big problem. He's facing a Nazad Paladin.
Yeah,
so that's a really greedy version.
It has Karen too, right?
It has Karen too.
Wow.
And it has more. It has a lot of more the greedy techs. I don't think in Harrison though. And well, the Medivh Mage, it's alright, but also the tech decisions there, Polymorph, Meteor, they can be painful.
Pyros as well.
Pyros, so they can be painful for a warrior. Meteor and Polymorph are great cards against that, but the Paladin first, and a great hand for Neirea. Alright hand for Fuoliver, but a little slow.
Yeah, he's got the Stonehill Defender, which is always fantastic.
A control Paladin can also not have a fast start. I mean, they just don't do anything.
Yeah, their whole game plan is passing forever.
2 and 3 Stonehill Defender is the most aggressive play they can do.
Yeah, meanwhile, the hand for Neirea is fantastic.
Yeah.
The Stonehill Defender on 3, he's got the Harrison Jones to punish the True Silver. That's natural play is, you know, hitting the Stonehill Defender. So,
how do you feel about not playing Warwick set when you're facing not an Harrison Jones in the Paladin?
I'm not sure what the armor is going to accomplish, so I find it a little bit interesting, right? If you have the Warwick up, you could potentially swing into something allowing your Battle Rage to be active.
Alright, so here we have the deck list for Fuoliver from the Paladin playing the Hydrolith.
He has the Ooze, that's why.
Ah, he has the Ooze.
No Harrison Jones, but he has the new Ooze.
Playing Ragnar's Lidelord, Tyrion, Nazad, and the Karen, and Double Kodo. Double Kodo also
and
really...
Sunkeeper Tarim, yeah.
Double Kodo is a really, with the Ellie Armorsmith, the Bluetooth Brave, like there are some really, really great targets for Fuoliver to hit with the Kodos.
Yeah. Those are huge swing cards in the matchup.
But some cards for Fuoliver are also going to be quite dead. I mean, Pyromancer, yeah, it can connect with Equality, Doomsayers, and, well, Elders a little bit too, are a little bit on the slow slide. And
Drake's not very good in the matchup.
Nope. And yeah, True Silver might be a little bit scary for Fuoliver too. Like, it's not even good here.
Yeah, it's really bad. It just plays into Harrison Jones at this point. So
yeah, but do you hear a power? I mean, you have 2 True Silvers. Maybe you.
So okay, yeah.
The worst thing that can happen is he draws 1 card and you kill the Harrison.
Yeah. Sure. So it's not that bad. You win the tempo back at the end of the exchange,
and at least your Tyrion weapon is not getting Harrison. Right. I mean, there's a potential for Neirea not even to want to Harrison this. He could just save it for Tyrion. Tyrion is a big deal, as once you complete the quest, you lose your ability to heal, and 15 becomes a lot of damage from the Ashbringer. Feels just too important here, though, too. Yeah, I mean, it's on curve. Beautiful, fills out your hand. Curator, kind of nice pickup, even though he already drew the Primordial Drake. He is playing Hydralisk, so still being able to catch up with Murlocs.
And the Kodo.
Yeah, so drawing 2 cards. You don't like these?
I think they're kind of funny. I think just like jamming Wind Fury is hilarious, but I think the health is the better pick there. Just make it more durable. You don't have any buffs to complement the Wind Fury, but...
It's kind of a strong minion here. Maybe Elder Stonehill connecting quite well here without taking much pressure.
Right.
Can consider the Curator, but he will always draw 2. Because no Kodo, no Hydralisk have been drawn. He will always be able to connect it.
Yeah, and this is the best Aldor target I think you're ever going to find, right? There's a, like
Actually,
Primordial Drake has 4 attacks.
Actually, yes.
This is the highest attack minion.
That is not even in his deck.
It's not even in his deck. So yeah, the only thing that could be higher attack is something from Stonehill Defender for Neirea. Okay. The Shambler has some payoff if you can Spike Ridge Steed something. That's always fun. And the Fen Creeper is a good old consistency pick. You know, it's always going to be okay.
Stat-wise, you're not losing too much there.
Right. So he doesn't. He takes the safe route. He doesn't feel like gambling it. This is a favorable matchup for him. All he needs is good old consistency.
Yeah, needs some good draws though. I mean, he's not getting any Death Rattle draws going. Like it will be nice to pick up a Karen or the Tyrion. Will be maybe nice to get a Steed going soon.
Yeah, you need some of those high impact cards. I mean, at least he has the Kodo going for him. He's going to be able to Curator and get the Kodo out. That's going to be a very powerful card going forward.
Oh my.
A
little late. Just the full value of the Warx being used, but there is more to get from. Yeah, I wouldn't mind just Curator here.
Yeah, I don't see anything.
You're not
else,
overdrawing,
really.
you go to 9 cards.
Could try and like do some fancy coin Primordial Drake to clear the Bloodhoof Brave, but I kind of like the Curator better.
You're also getting the Kodo then.
Yeah.
Actually, it looks like he's going. Kills of his own Eldor in
that's
the one attack board.
You play around Battle Rage the best this way, I guess.
Yeah, but the hero is not even damaged.
Yeah.
The menagerie is for guests only.
Neirea going for the Curator there.
He's going to have a fast quest completion this game. Neirea has had a fantastic hand.
Fuoliver also having a way slower hand. Now going so more off curve this way.
Yeah, I don't understand this.
No, it's not the way to go, I think, but still picking up the two, the Kodo and the Hydralisk.
I mean, it's going to work out fine enough.
Interesting attack. Can just get traded away now by the Curator. So Neirea will probably just slam 1 or 2 more if he can. For Neirea might just be the way to go, to just slam 1 or 2 more taunts this turn.
Play as many taunts as he can, yeah.
I mean, the pressure is not there, and he's not gonna... The removals are only getting better once the Death Rattle minions are there, or once he wants to hit 8 damage in the face with the Ragnarok 0 power. So that he still has so much room to play his taunts. Maybe play an Acolyte or...
What's his quest at?
5-7 if I was correct.
Okay.
If I was correct. But
so I'd love to see him actually play the Primordial Drake this turn. Trade in the 4-2 into the 4-6, drop Primordial Drake, so then he can complete the quest next turn with Direhorn Hatchling, get the weapon out, and utilize the hero power in the same turn. Now he can do that with Dirty Rat, I guess, but it's just a little bit more awkward, right?
And this is kind of doing the same, but just for less mana.
Because he's only playing 1 taunt this turn anyway, so why not play the biggest taunt so you can hero power
and
next
also
turn.
board-wise, he's not getting much better on,
Right.
so mana is just a little less efficient. Maybe looking for more value from the Primal deck, but
saving it for like fishes and execute, I guess, sure.
not playing the Warwick says here that he is just wanting to respect the Ooze. And Dirty Rat being one of the bad cards against Paladin. I mean, you are really scared what is going on. Oh, wow.
Alright, Neirea runs 2 Dirty Rats to really punish these kind of Doomsayer plays. And also, like, he wants to spend 3 mana equipping the weapon this turn, so...
And the quest is done now, so... Yeah. But this Doomsayer, it's so... Fuoliver feels behind on board.
It's such an awkward Doomsayer, though, because you know your opponent's playing a taunt minion, then completing the quest.
Yeah.
So you know they have to invest 3 mana of their turn into just developing that weapon. So it seems strange to Doomsayer knowing they're completing the quest the following.
You're gonna hit here, right? Come on.
Oh,
Yeah.
you try and hit the
wow.
face, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, you push the damage. You don't care
Even
that
going
Doomsayer
face
goes
here, not killing the Doomsayer. I like it. I mean, I feel Neirea has to being better here off that the Doomsayer pop than Fuoliver. So
yeah, the Doomsayer
really,
helped Neirea.
I don't. Really interesting play.
Very questionable play.
Getaway Kodo, one of the most valuable secrets, probably together with Redemption, but a little bit easier or nicer in this control one. Well, Primordial Drake, it's... I don't think you want to look for Brawl here. Yeah, I don't mind this.
Yeah, you have 2 good targets here, that's not too bad. Second best target.
Alright, we take it. Yeah, Fuoliver just not having much minion pressure from the early game. With the Care and the Steeds, it's kind of these things you want to connect early at turn 6 at best, so...
And Neirea completing the quest really, really fast this game. You got it done on turn 9, right?
Yeah.
So
when quests are getting done at turn 8, 9, that's kind of the one of the faster ways. There are sometimes it can be at turn 7, but you really gotta pick up the super
That's the
cheap
public
ones.
defender.
Yeah.
Off Stonehill defender.
Shield barrier.
Yeah, the
Gastropod.
shield barrier. Yeah.
Or the Stonehill defender into Stonehill defender sometimes.
Oh yeah, those are sick.
Let the pain speak to me.
Well, Karen's gonna cause the reg hero power to miss occasionally, but still not bad.
All right.
Executes first and then hero powers, just in case it hits the Bane.
Yes.
He's got board control, he's got the quest completed, everything is going in Neirea's way. I can't imagine how he loses from this position, but it happened the 2 previous games.
Well,
so we still got something going on here.
I haven't seen that it was such an...
Right, this is the farthest he's ever been ahead, though. But
I have to say the Doomsayer play really swinged it around in the favor of
Doomsayer play
Neirea.
helped Neirea a lot.
Like, that was the swing turn on board, at least.
Yeah, whose team is Oliver on? Extra card draw off Acolyte, sure.
Yeah, getting a better shot going to it. Looks like a redemption, maybe, so he wants to have the 1/1 Acolyte connecting into the Divine Shield.
Right. But no redemption, just a getaway Kodo. So that's not too bad. Set up the lethal for the following turn. Take care of business. You just drop a Bloodhoof Brave down, because why not? No, he's going to hold that back. Seems very difficult for Oliver to wiggle his way out of this situation. He can clear the entire board. Wild Pyromancer Consecrate. Not very good, though.
Pyro Consecration, yeah, connecting. You're at 7.
He needs to kind of save those equality activators.
And just a great example that this warrior deck is just not a control warrior, what some people just still suppose. It's tempo warrior.
Yeah.
Or a mid-range warrior.
You can't outlast it. It has a combo that kills you. It's a combo / mid-range deck and tries to kill you. It's aggressive. So if you make your control deck, your anti-warrior deck, super greedy, super late game, you can have all the value in the world, the N'Zoth, whatever, it doesn't matter. If they can figure out ways to connect the hero power, they're going to kill you. And that's been a trend we've seen of people that have been able to win with the Taunt Warrior.
Going for the Steed here over the Consecration. And yeah, Fuoliver already not feeling it anymore. Giving the well play to Neirea.
He can trade with the minion, trade with the War Axe, play Ghoul, clearing everything, launching just a 2/6 in play, and then you can Brawl and then Hero Power. Or you could probably just Hero Power after that. Take your 50-50, right?
Yeah.
No need to waste a Brawl, and then, you know, worst case, you drop a 6/9.
I don't mind just Ghoul first.
Yeah, trade Ghoul,
power.
Hero Power. If you don't win the game, play a 6/9.
The board is also completely empty, so it's
Right.
the best trade. Maybe he's thinking of like a Fishes, but I don't see any
Is there
other way.
Fishes?
He's probably just figuring out if there's any guaranteed lethal here that we are.
There might be something with fishes.
Like it not
Trade fishes, cool.
It has to be then with the brawl. Goes for the
Then
fishes here.
this way you get to save the War Axe, so you get 100% lead.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it can just hit the face.
Yeah, it hits the face or it hits the minion. If it hits the minion, you have the War Axe, so that's the correct way to do that last turn. Well played by Neirea. Able to close it out. Was a little shaky there in the middle, but he regained his head, and I thought he played that last game brilliantly.
Yeah, last game definitely way better played than the first 2 games for Neirea with the Taunt Warrior,
Right.
but overall the series has been, the first games he got such a nice 3-0 lead, but was so important for the series, and you see it just paid off for him there.
Yeah, paid off. Able to close it out. A 3-0 lead is tough to come back from, but Fuoliver was almost able to do it. He was actually really close to being able to sweep that Taunt Warrior. Taunt Warrior continues to be one of the lowest win rate decks in the tournament.
It is a deck, I have to say, that was so great in a qualifier for a lot of people that, yeah, you saw so much aggro here around. But finally, now also like a lot of people targeting the control, and Taunt Warrior is one of the decks that you can target.
And not only are the players targeting some decks, they're going to be targeting some food in the kitchen.